Happy Tuesday. It is time for Niknax coffee chat. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let me get us over to YouTube and fix what I need to fix over there, and then we'll get started. All right. Hello, everybody. Good morning. My coffee chat is upcoming, but it's actually happening right now. Come on, YouTube. You got to catch up. There it goes. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. I'd like to call this meeting to order. All right, let's see. 1 year. Okay, so I'm turning YouTube over, which means that you will have to have been subscribed for 1 year in order to comment. You can still watch, and if you would like to comment, you can hop on over to niknax.net. I have it written right here, www.niknax.net. This is where you need to be, because this is what we're talking about. So in order to comment, you got to come on over here. All right, now let me pull up my notes, and then we will get started. There's no gavel emoji. You know, I realized that whenever I was doing the chat channels, and I was updating the chat channels, I was looking for a gavel emoji for oh no, it wasn't the chat channels. It was our homepage topics. I was trying to stick in some emojis, and I didn't have a gavel for the auction. I was like, I got to come up with something. All right, let's see. I've got notes here from Christina. Last night I called her at 11:30 p.m. Was it 11:30? Maybe it was 11. I don't know. We were chatting till midnight about okay, what are we talking about tomorrow? All right, we got 2 rates. Who rated us? Oh, thank you for the race. Yay! Everybody's ready for coffee chat. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you for the raid. Oh, I appreciate it. Who else rated us? Oh, and Bird and Bloom. Thank you, Christina. Thank you for the raid. All right, so we're gonna get started. Oh my goodness, it's a lot of notes. Yeah, we were up late talking. I was out filming all day, and then I got back, and I edited my video, and then everybody was watching football. And Laurel's so funny. The Eagles were on last night, and so Laurel is like, go, 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 go. She stands in front of the TV and she yells, go, 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 go when football is on, because, she's so used to her dad and Ashton. And so she I sent Christina a video clip. It's so funny. She's just like, go, 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 go. And then she gets sad when they get upset because she realizes something went wrong in the game, but she doesn't understand. So she just gets this really sad face. So anyway, after the game, I called Christina. It was 11:30. And I was like, all right, what are we talking about tomorrow? So, there's a lot of notes. So we're going to get through these in the next hour. Are you guys ready? All right, so this is our Tuesday coffee chat here on niknax.net. So every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, we get on here and we talk about what is happening on Niknax. We're a fairly large marketplace, so I feel like it's important to communicate and have transparency and talk about our feelings and make sure that we're kind of all on the same page. All right, so we have about 480 new members since last Tuesday. One thing I noticed is that when I was putting out daily reels, we were really getting a lot of new members. And so I forget what day it was. It was someday over the weekend. I just sat on my couch and I just made reels all day. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make reels all day. And so I scheduled reels all the way out for an entire week. And so every single day this week, we're gonna have new reels dropping, because that when I was putting out daily reels, that is when we were seeing the most. Yes, we were seeing the most members. So we're gonna see if next week that number goes up. It's kind of a fun experiment. So we have 480 since last Tuesday. We currently on Niknax have 27,862. Oh yeah, that was so funny. Juliet did the first dance, but I didn't know on CapCut like it put like this automatic. I was gonna share hers, but it had like this weird caption that was like something about mental health, and I was like, I don't know if I would have put that because I was gonna post hers, but I was like, I don't know if we're gonna put that one out, Juliet, because I was gonna put both of them out. It was really cute. She did a really good job. She did way better than I did. Okay, so Niknax is at 27,862. That's crazy. That's wild. So we're almost at 28,000. I feel like by next week, daily reels, we're going to be at 28,000. I'm excited. We are at 3,448 sellers. We are coming up on 1 year. So there's another thing I wanted to talk about that Christina and I did not get to last night, and I'm going to put that right here as we come up on 1 year. 1 year anniversary. And what that means for all of our sellers. Not really a bad thing, but something we haven't done yet. Okay. All these post-its I've got all over the place. All these different colors. Look at this. All right. So we have over 80,000 listings, 80,100 listings, and we continue to grow. So this is your weekly reminder that if you are a buyer here on Niknax, don't forget to browse the Buy It Now listings. I personally have found some amazing things in the Buy It Now, and I probably scroll the Buy It Now listings more than anybody. I don't know. You feel free to challenge me, but I probably do. I scroll them a lot because I'm constantly adding, to the weekly feature, and I'm adding to the top picks, and I'm scrolling through. I'm tagging things, and so I'm constantly tagging through scrolling through Buy It Now listings, and there are some amazing, really fantastic things on Niknax, and there are some really fantastic deals. There are some great deals. There was an awesome, what was it? Oh my gosh, it was a Pablo Zabal figurine this weekend on Niknax. It was amazing. I almost bought it. I sent it to my friends. It was a lion, and I think it was $35. I was like, what? I'm like, Sandy, look at this. Peter, look at this. I don't buy for resale on Niknax. I don't do it. I buy for myself. But that was a fantastic deal. So yeah, browse around on Niknax. Either you're buying for yourself, you can also maybe pick up a deal for resale, but it's definitely worth looking. Okay, so Mainly Made. We are up to 1,711 members, 335 sellers, and 2,700 listings. The holidays are coming. I always talk about how I love gifting my family handmade things. I love it. Let me show you something I bought yesterday. I didn't buy this off of Mainly Made, but let me show you. Stand back. Don't go anywhere. Look at this thing I found yesterday for $5 that I got from my sister for Christmas. Isn't that cute? $5. I'm like, I can't not buy that. It's so cute. So I love gifting handmade for Christmas, for the holidays, and we have it right here on Mainly Made. You can't kill that, right? So I would encourage you. We've got lots of crochet on Mainly Made. Lots of really great artists. So go and check it out. Every Thursday, we are doing a handmade train. And we also have our handmade market coming up on Niknax next Friday, where we will be doing the out of the box train, where we will be selling boxes for our sellers to purchase. And then next month, we'll be doing like a crafting marathon where they have a prompt and they have a mystery box and they have to craft out of the box. So that's coming up next month. All right. So first up, let's get to the notes. If you guys are ready. New. I don't know if you guys have noticed this feature, but we now have data at the top of our screen when we are doing sales. I absolutely love that feature. I can see how long I've been live. I can see how much I have made. I've seen how many items I've sold and how many people I have watching. It is amazing. I love that feature, especially when I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been on for 2.5 hours. My jewelry sale the other night, I was like, wow, this is, I've been on for a long time. I think it's time to, I mean, there's pros and there's cons. Maybe I'm like, oh wow, maybe it's time to call it quits. I've been on for 2.5 hours, so I mean, so we have that, which is really exciting. So if you are a seller, hope you guys are enjoying that feature. We now have the duplicate update. So instead of going into your store to bring the next numbered item to stage, you can tap the last item and duplicate it. So we now have that feature. I personally have not used it. I know Christina was testing it out. I think Mary may have tested it out. I have not personally used it, but that is a new feature that should make running your items quicker. So you now have that duplicate tool, so you don't have to keep going and pulling the next numbered item to stage. Oh, there you go. Bird and Bloom used it this AM. Works great. Wonderful. So the duplicate means that instead of like having to run variants, you can just duplicate the last item that you ran and it copies everything over. So you just click on it and then you duplicate it and then you run it. So that's the feature. So it just speeds things along, which is very exciting. All right. So, okay. So this is something that I think, all right. So if I'm thinking this is what, all right, I'm reading through the notes. Usually our notes would only like make sense to me and Christina. So I'm reading, I'm like, I think this is what I'm thinking we're thinking about. Okay. So here on the notes, I have selling non-vintage and antique items. So one thing that we've noticed, and this is not like directed at any particular seller, this is just across the board. Something that we've noticed is that we're seeing some items that are coming from like Temu or I don't even know the name of that. The Temu just comes to mind because that's like the most popular one right now. And to be honest, if you guys have watched my videos, I have been fooled by Temu before. I've been fooled by Temu. One thing that Temu does is they actually will rip off artist pieces. So they take designs that are popular by artists and they reproduce them and they sell them on Temu. Even vintage designs, they'll take them and they'll do that. So I want everybody to be extra vigilant in selling items. Just be, extra careful about one thing I've done, and this has been really helpful to me. I still find the items. I still mess up occasionally, but it really helps to actually go onto Temu and browse and look through what they're selling and then like have an idea for like, oh, one thing I see a lot of the time are those mushrooms. Have you guys seen those like glass mushrooms? I bought one once. I think I paid like $5 for it at let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I think I paid like $5 for it in an antique mall because I'm like, this is so cool. It's like a little mushroom base. I bought it. The propagation things. Those are the ones. Yes. They're little mushrooms and they're so cool. They are Temu. I saw a bunch of them yesterday at the antique mall and I was like, oh boy. And they were selling them for $9 a piece. I'm like, ugh. And there was a bunch in one booth and I was like, oh. And I know, I'm not blaming anyone for doing it like on purpose. I mean, I've picked them up at the antique mall and thought that they were vintage. So I'm not saying anyone's doing it on purpose, but like, oh shoot. Come on, there we go. These things right here. This that we're on Temu right now. These things are Temu. So I actually bought one of these recently because I thought it was really cool. I didn't realize it was Temu until I was looking here last night and I was like, oh, crap. But I got it at Goodwill, so it doesn't matter. So that's something to keep in mind. I would encourage you guys to go and just like browse through and check it out and be like, oh my gosh, look at all these things. Because it's kind of wild. I think they're cool. I do think they're cool. But I don't want to see these things being sold on Niknax as vintage or people being misled. I think that's really important. One thing that I will note is that, so for instance, again, jewelry. There's a lot of jewelry on here. Let me show you. What is it? Kirk's Foley. Let's do that one. Kirk's Foley. All right, so we look. What is that? Is that what it's called? Kirk's Foley? We're just going to call it Moonface jewelry. That's what it's going to take. Is another one. So jewelry, yeah, Folly. I don't know. Maybe just Moonface jewelry. It's not going to show up. Oh, there it is. Okay, look. Yeah, don't be loading their app or anything. I always just go to the website. But like this thing right here. Okay, so this is made to look like the Kirk's Folly brooch. But it's a knockoff. It's a Temu. So what I'm basically, the whole point of this conversation is I just want you guys to be extra vigilant as sellers, but also I want you as buyers to also be vigilant. It's not the fault of the buyer. It's not the fault of the seller. I don't think anyone is at fault here. I just think as a buyer, you should be aware of what you're buying. And as a seller, you should have some understanding of what you're selling. And I think that everybody together should just be responsible. So if there's something, for instance, at auction and I'm like, oh my gosh, a lot of the time now, auctions are online. And if I see something online and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really love that, but I can't hold it. I can't look at it. They don't have a picture of the bottom. And I'm like, oh, I think it's so-and-so, but I don't know for certain. I'm not going to bid like it's so-and-so because I don't know for certain. And so just keep that in mind as you're navigating the marketplace. Like, if you see something and you're like, I don't know, but if you like it, you like it. I mean, things are worth what people are willing to pay, and that's the bottom line. But be responsible as a seller and be vigilant as a buyer. I don't think anyone's trying to mislead anyone. I don't think that's the case. I mean, we are all, we're a great community of people, and I think that's the bottom line on that. So I would just encourage you guys to browse through some of these sites, get an idea for what they're selling. I mean, they are ripping off a lot of designs. And so, unfortunately, that's just the way things are. All right. So that is that. Also, we're mostly vintage and antiques, but I have allowed for, a mix of contemporary things. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a mix of contemporary things, maybe things that are vintage inspired. I think Mom and I Flip just said something about Jim Shore. I sell Jim Shore. I love Jim Shore. We include collectibles in that, vintage, antiques, collectibles, that sort of thing. We don't want a ton of like crazy, like Temu stuff being sold, like we don't want it inundated like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat channels, and I'm sure moderators or admins can help guide you. But that's just something I really wanted to touch on because I don't want anyone feeling like they're purposely being misled or anything like that. Okay. So let's all just be vigilant, I think is the right word. Okay. So next we have, so we had an issue this weekend. And this has been an issue like previously with others who have streamed to YouTube. I've had the issue personally where I've streamed to YouTube. And this is why at the beginning of all of my shows, when I'm streaming to YouTube, I go over and I turn it to subscribers only. Because if you've been in my shows when I haven't done that, you've seen what comes through. it's some really raunchy, naughty, nasty stuff that starts coming through in the chat. And here on District, it's different. Well, the marriage proposals come through on Facebook. I mean, at least they're, they're respectful. They're like, hey, I like you. Will you marry me? I mean, that's respectful. The stuff that comes through on YouTube is pretty nasty. I mean, I don't mind the occasional marriage proposal, but the stuff coming through on YouTube is just like, it can be really nasty and raunchy. And here on District, the comments on YouTube and Facebook get pushed through. So, so when they're commenting these things on YouTube, we're seeing them here on District. We're seeing them here. And if you don't have a moderator over on your YouTube channel to take care of those comments, there's nothing you can do because you are live. If you're the only moderator and you are live, there's nobody unless you say, okay, hang on guys, I have to pause this. I have to go over. I have to take care of this. There's nobody who can save you unless you end your show. There's nobody to save you. It's like, it's really a helpless feeling. I've been there. I know. And so if you are going to be casting to YouTube, I'm not going to say don't cast to YouTube. I would love to see you guys casting to YouTube and putting your video, multicasting to YouTube. But if you're going to be casting to YouTube, it doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter how small you are. The trolls will find you. They will find you because you're alive. That's all that matters. If you are live, they will find your live stream and they will troll you. So you could have 3 people in the room and 2 of those people are going to be trolls. That's just how it works. So what you need to do is you need to turn it to subscribers only. Let me see if I can show you guys from my point of view. Let's see. I can pull this up real quick on my end. Just don't want to show anything personal. All right, let's see. So I think I can do that. Okay, let me... So if I go here, I'm going to turn you guys around. All right, so here I am. Sorry, this is my work computer. It's really dusty because this place is dusty. If I go to my content here on my channel, so you can kind of see, I know it's a weird angle, but if I go to content here, so this is just real quick for all of you who are on YouTube. This is my YouTube dashboard. I go to content and then I go to my live stream and here is my live stream. So then I'm going to go into edit. I'm pretty sure this is the button. All right. So, and then over here on the side, we have customization. We click this. Then we come over here and participant modes. So this is what I do and you can only do it while you're live. So when you start your show, you have to go in and you have to update these settings. So you have to start your show and be like, all right, hang on guys, 1 second while I update this. So you can change it to subscribers only. You have members only and live commentary approved users. I always change mine to subscribers. I do 1 year because there are trolls that will subscribe and then wait 5 minutes to comment. I've learned that the hard way. So what I do is I change it to custom 1 year. They can watch. They can watch. All right. And if they really, really want to comment and if they are dedicated subscribers, I always encourage all. So if you're over there watching right now and you want to come over and you want to hang out with us, come on over to Niknax. I do appreciate you. I know how bad it can get. So this is why I set it up this way. And then I just save the changes and that's how it's done. So if you're going to push it over to YouTube, if you have a channel, regardless of how big it is, that is what I would say to do because otherwise it's going to get bad. What was Charlie's? Are you able to turn off commenting completely on YouTube? There has to be a way to do that. Probably if you did live commentary. Yeah, live comment. So if you click live commentary, approved users, if there's nobody approved, it's going to just knock out all the commentary, is my theory. I've never done it that way. But live commentary mode limits participants to the people you approve for your channel. So that would probably be the option. You just click live commentary. And then I'm pretty certain nobody could comment. Yeah. Yeah. And so I saw what's the benefit to casting to YouTube. The benefit is to, get word out about Niknax, to get word out to your followers who you would love to have come over and purchase your items on Niknax. So if you're putting it out on YouTube and you have a subscriber base on YouTube, you can tell people, come on over to Niknax. Hey, if you're watching over on my YouTube channel, whether you have 10 subscribers, 50 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, you could say, come on over to Niknax. That is where you can purchase these items you're seeing me hold and show you guys. So that's the advantage to casting to YouTube. The people with the YouTube channels, they will understand. All right, let's get back to our notes. That was a little segue. That was a squirrel moment, wasn't it? And I think I showed Sam, Jolie Flips, how to do that. I think I've had to show Dee, archivist. I sent her instructions on how to do that. Because not everyone knows, but it's important. So if you're going to do that, it's not a requirement, but it's very distracting to have trolls in there. It's not just for you, but for your audience. And they can get really, really bad, and they'll find you regardless of your following. Okay. Okay. So one thing we've been thinking about is, these coffee chats they have a lot to do, with, talking to our sellers. And so we're thinking of ways that we could have a chat for sellers. Buyers are always invited. There's no reason to put that behind a wall, but I don't know if there's a way. So we were thinking, would you guys be interested if we could figure out a way to have a open conversation between our team and sellers? Would that be something that you guys would be interested in? Because one thing we've noticed, yesterday we had a conversation happening in the live seller chat. Yes. We had a conversation happening in the live seller chat that, it gets lost. I think once people start commenting, the important stuff gets lost. Okay, so that's something we'll start looking at a way to do that. Not that these coffee chats, I would continue to have coffee chats, but this is kind of like a mix of just information for everybody. And so that's something that we could definitely. Okay, yeah, more open behind the scene conversation. Yeah, Zoom. That's Christina. I've never done. I've been in Zoom meetings, but I've never led a Zoom meeting. That sounds really intense. That makes it sound like I'm a boss or something. I'm just hanging out. But yes. All right. So maybe Zoom would work. I'll have to figure out how to do a Zoom because I've never done that before other than shown up. I know how to show up for a Zoom. Sometimes I'm late. Okay. So let's 3 mentions. Yo. That was Christina's word. She did yo, exclamation. The creativity in live shows has been fun and engaging. I agree. The creativity in live shows. Yeah, I already read that. Dressing up. Absolutely. I love the dressing up. It makes me so happy. Sarah was dressed up the other day and she was absolutely killing it. I loved the black lipstick. She was rocking it. She was rocking it. That's something I could never do. But she was absolutely rocking it. Oh, look. Example quality as a mermaid. See, I was all about the black lipstick, but also as a mermaid. Vintage Princess as a cat. Candyland Curiosities as an alien. Let's not forget Amanda the alien. Game nights with co-selling as a theme. I think that all of those things, and Christina, wrote this down. All of those things is what makes Niknax so great. All of those things make Niknax so great and so wonderful. It's such a great community. We can all have fun together. We can laugh together. Babs, absolutely, Babs, for sure. Let's not forget. That is absolutely 100% correct. Oh, that's so funny. Yes. So I thank all of you for being such great members of this community and just, having fun. And I love it. Okay. Buy it now, sellers. I love all the items I'm seeing in the buy it now. Like I said, I scroll through the items probably more than anybody else. And there's been times I'm like, okay, I can't keep buying. Like, I gotta hold on. Like, look, I've got like a hippo over there on the fridge. I mean, I gotta like, oh, maybe I gotta slow down. But there's so many amazing things in the buy it now. Please, live sellers, remember to be encouraging people in your shows to go out and check the homepage, browse those 80,000 listings, because there's some really fantastic stuff out there. And I've got a hippo on my fridge for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So we also have Niknax top picks. Those are things I've grabbed from around the marketplace that just like, things I feel like are trending. There's some Fenton in there. Murano, obviously, people love Murano. Pottery, all sorts of stuff in the Niknax top picks. And that's just, again, me scrolling the marketplace and just grabbing things that, stick out to me. A lot of the times I'm looking at the way items are photographed. It's not just about the item, but the way the items are photographed, items that are photographed real well, displayed real well. So if you're wanting to be featured in Niknax top picks, it has a lot to do with not just the item, but, how the pictures are taken. Obviously, one of our guidelines is no screenshots. So if you're screenshotting your items and you just have like a screenshot of an eBay listing, you're not going to end up in Niknax top picks. Just saying. All right. The members in the chat, absolutely. You guys are amazing. We love seeing that interaction in the chat. I think it's fantastic to see everybody, everybody building the relationships, and making Niknax so great. How do you find the buy it now? Let me show you. I feel like we have time for that. It's easy peasy. Let me flip you around. Are you ready? All right. So here we are on our homepage. Oh, I can't push it back because I got a bunch of paperweights. I still have the paperweights in the box. If you guys were here at my jewelry sale the other day, you saw that. Juliet gave me stickers, by the way. Those are from Juliet. So it's really easy. Here's the homepage. We just go to all listings. This is something I've been talking to District about. I'm like, yes, I love having all of our live sale listings here, but I feel like this should be all of our buy it now listings when we click all listings. But I'll buy it now and multi-day auctions. I don't know. Yeah. So I've been talking to them about that. Okay. So we go here and look, we just click on, we don't use this. This is a whole thing. We don't use this toolbar because it brings us to all of District. And we really want to encourage everybody to stay within Niknax. So we don't use this search bar. This is the bad search bar. We search here and we go pottery. And look at all this amazing pottery. There's some really fantastic stuff there. And there's 174, you can't see it. There's 174 pages that you can scroll through. See, now this is when I get like distracted and I start scrolling. Then I start shopping for hippos. I mean, look at this pig. This is a cowboy. This is something that I would be like, oh my gosh, a $4 cowboy pig. And then I'd probably buy it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to resist buying the $4 pottery cowboy pig. This is where it all goes wrong. Okay. This is why I shouldn't be browsing through listings. But yeah, that's how you do it. You go to the homepage, you click on all listings, and then you search whatever you want to search, and you search through 80,000 listings. Easy peasy. Now I gotta get back to notes. Okay. You're very welcome. You are very welcome. All right. So, okay. So we have a reminder, a few reminders here. So, train conductors. So when we run our Niknax trains, we have a specific set of expectations for those who are in the trains. And we talk about expectations prior to the trains, during the trains, after the trains, when people are signing up. We talk about them a lot. Like these are our expectations. You will bring items that go with the theme. You will schedule your sale. You will show up. You know, we have, he's not homeless. He's a cowboy. we have all of these expectations that we set up ahead of time. We have Niknax train guidelines. I mean, those guidelines. So here's how it works. We have the district guidelines, which are kind of like the big guidelines, right? They don't really have train guidelines, but we have the district guidelines, which are like, don't sell weapons and don't, the district guidelines. And then we have our marketplace guidelines, which just govern our marketplace. Other marketplaces have their own rules. We have our own set of rules. Okay. But underneath that, if you are going to be conducting a train, you can set up your own expectations and your own guidelines for your train. Okay? You can set up your own expectations and your own guidelines for your train. So I think this is really important because we've had some issues lately where train conductors have asked for our assistance as Niknax. But I think the real answer is for our conductors to set up their expectations prior to signups for their train. So I'm looking for examples. There's no examples here. What were the examples, Christina? We had all these examples last night, but it was like midnight and I don't remember. So, I mean, like if you're going to have a train and you want to set examples. So for instance, okay. Yes, make sure you're on time. Make sure you're on time rating into the next person. That is a Niknax guideline. And so you will be expected to do that. But if you are organizing your own train, yes, like co-hosting. If you are organizing your own train and you don't want, one seller in your train to invite another seller in to co-host with them, that would be in your guidelines. That would be in your expectations. You would say, okay, I am having a train. This is the theme. This is what I expect my sellers to bring. I only want you bringing vintage. I don't want you bringing anything contemporary. I only want vintage. This is my expectation, is that you're going to bring vintage or antique or only vintage or only things that are blue. This is my expectation. Okay. And then also my expectation is that you do not co-host. So you don't just grab a partner and then co-host during the train. Okay. So that is an expectation. My expectation is, so you can say, I don't know if you guys remember signing up for trains on Whatnot. I know whenever I ran a train, I was just like, hey, you want to be my train? And that was just like a verbal agreement. Like, let's have a train together. But I know friends who were asked to be in trains would often get this book like, hey, be in my train. And then they get this book of like, here's my expectations to be in my train. And I'm like, what is that? That's a lot. But now I understand that it's important to set your expectations ahead of time so that when something goes wrong, you can say, okay, well, I told you this is my expectation. You're supposed to sell only vintage things that are blue. And you have something that is red. So I need to ask you to take that red thing out of your sale. Or we can't have you co-hosting because that's in our expectations that it is only a single person live sale. Or I see a lot of people talking about, and this is something I think we need to add to the Niknax guidelines. And this is important. And I think this is just kind of common courtesy, is that if you are having another sale the same day during the train, that you do not promote it. I mean, that should maybe be something that we add to our guidelines that just governs all of the lives and the trains that are happening. That's probably important. Because I do see that happening. Say that again? Okay. So if make a post-it. All right, I'll write it. Oh, I have another post. Oh, I forgot this one. Okay, I pulled it off my computer to do that. Okay. All right. Is it already in my guidelines? Did I already add that? I don't think I did. Okay, so no promoting later sales. Okay. And I know, like, so that is actually a guideline that if you were ever invited, I think, to a Whatnot sponsored train, that was a guideline that you could not have a sale. That was the Whatnot guideline, is you could not have another sale during the train. So if you sign up for a Whatnot sponsored train, you could not schedule another train or another sale while that train was happening. That was the Whatnot guidelines. If you were to sign up for a Whatnot sponsored train, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is we're going to ask that if you are in a train and you have like a sale 2 hours later, you don't promote that sale while you're in the train. I think that's fair. Not to promote it. That's fair. Okay, so I'm going to add that to the guidelines. That'll be in our train guidelines. But also, make sure you're setting your expectations for your trains. If you have expectations and you have a sign-up sheet, put those expectations in the margin of your sign-up sheet. Make sure you tell people when you post the sign-up sheet, here are our expectations. Make sure that you agree to these expectations before you sign up. You are in charge. You are the conductor, and you need to let people know that this is what I expect of you. You're in charge. Okay? I'm putting you in charge. And, we're always there to support you. So if you do need our support, you can reach out to us. But I want to see you guys succeed and take that lead role. So, this shirt, my Nifis shirt, not for sale. All right. So next we have, okay, I went over that. Yes, we have terms and guides that are updated often, which I will be doing today. Every time I update the guidelines or our terms, I post the update in our chat channels. So once I update this, I will post it in our chat channels. All right, so you guys will be able to see that. Will be changing as conductors deal with any issues. Yes, absolutely. So Christina created a new run-by sheet for trains that is invite only. She's no longer using the old one. The reason for that is we had some tampering going on with our train run-by sheet. We had people going in there, or somebody, I don't know, going in there and changing times, deleting stuff. I like to think it was an accident, but on the off chance that it was done on purpose, we've just kind of locked that down. So if you did not receive the green check mark by your train from the last spreadsheet, you need to email her. When you email her, you need to include your username, not just your first name, because she may not know who you are by your first name. So email her at community@niknax.net if you do not have a green check mark by your train idea. Okay, if there's not a green check mark, it's not approved. So email Christina. There is a new train sheet, but it is invite only, and you have to go through email to propose trains and get trains approved from here until any updates are made. All right. Oh, I'm sure she's figuring it out, but no. All right, so there are 3 new trains to the calendar of events. There's also new Niknax events that are being added as well. We've got 10 minutes. I'm going to try to get through these notes. It's class month here on Niknax, which is very exciting. So make sure you check the event calendar. We've got lots of glass coming up. September 23rd, the theme is glass animals. We're not having a train, but we want to encourage everyone to be having sales with their glass animals involved. Put your glass animals in your sales, have glass animals in your buy it now. That's the theme of the day, is glass animals, glass figurines. September 24th is art glass. So, that's hand-blown glass, art glass. September 25th is glowing glass. going to be glowy glass. September 26th is mid-century modern glass. It's very important. Mid-century modern, not mid-century, mid-century modern. It's very different than mid-century. Mid-century is like a time. Mid-century modern is a style. So mid-century modern is a style. So we want mid-century modern style glass. So that would be like your Viking. Mid-century, yeah, I'd say mid-century modern. Mid-century modern. All right, yeah, cool. Very, very like fine lines and like mid-century modern. You can Google it, mid-century modern. All right, so September 28th and 29th is our next big Niknax sponsored event, and we are doing glass. We're going to call it the Glass Act, and it is full, but I think there is a waiting list. There is a link to view the waiting list, and they must email Christina if they want to be added, and they were not able to get on the train. All right, so community@niknax.net. We do have the dates for that, but it's not on here. Maybe do we have the dates? Yeah, I think we do. It's October. It's on the event calendar. Come on, don't you look at the event calendar? And it's in October. I actually just updated it this weekend. I put it in there. All right. Upcoming this month, we have the September Shake It Up train, which is for shakers. And that is September 19th. It's 30-minute time slots, and it is full. So that is the 19th. I'm going to be away for that one, I believe. When is that? Tomorrow? What is today? No. What day is that? Thursday? To move my Post-its. It's Thursday. Yay! I will be traveling, but I think it's going to be a wonderful train. I think it's going to be a blast. I bought all these shakers, and then I realized I'm like, oh wait, I'm going to be traveling, so I've got a bunch of shakers. It's going to be lots of fun. I'm there with you guys in spirit because I have all these shakers, so I'm there in spirit for the shaker train. It's going to be fun. All right, so that's on the 19th. And then on the 20th, we have Fast Friday Freight, which is shakers again. This one is 15-minute time slots, and you have to look in the Niknax Train Gazette channel for sign-up details today. So if you want to be in that 15-minute Fast Friday Freight, the sign-ups for the Salt and Pepper Shaker train is today in the Gazette. All right, so check that out. Handmade Market is September 27th. There are still a few spots left on the Meet Your Maker train, and those signups are in the Mainly Made channel, in the Mainly Made marketplace. So if you want to go get a spot on that train, it usually jumps between the two marketplaces. It jumps between Niknax and Mainly Made. So you can go over to Mainly Made and sign up for that. We are kicking off the Create Out of the Box event, which is like a month long. It's a month-long thing because we're selling the boxes on the 27th. It's going to be, I think, 10 mystery boxes of crafting supplies. We're going to send them to our live sellers. So it's only open to live sellers because in a month, those live sellers are going to open the box and have to craft an item out of that box using the prompt that is in the box. And they have 1 hour to craft whatever is there. That's a very good question. I mean, we haven't really figured that out yet, but we're going to figure it out by next Tuesday because that's the last day to figure it out and make the announcement of what we're doing. We're not there yet. We'll figure it out. That's usually how we roll. It's going to be lots of fun, though. It's going to be lots of fun. I'm excited. I'm pretty excited for that train, just because we have so many creative people, and I'm excited to see what people come up with. All right. So on October 25th is when we will have that train. that's when we will have the train where they will open the box, they will see the prompt, and then they will create something. And all of the boxes will be different. All of the boxes will be different. So lots of sellers don't ship to Canada. Well, Christina and I will be selling the mystery boxes, and we will be shipping them to Canada, if that's what you mean. It's really up to the sellers whether they want to ship to Canada or not. It's very, very simple to ship internationally. It's very simple. I mean, it just spits out with your label and you just sign it and you're good to go. You can ship to Canada. I know our Canadian buyers appreciate it when you ship internationally. And it's easy. Yes. Yes. All right. So let me see here. Events calendar. Let's go over this real quick because we've got 4 minutes. Boom. Oh my gosh, these paperweights. I don't know what I was thinking when I'm like, oh my gosh, this sale is in October. I think I'm going to start photographing paperweights. All right, let me see. All right, so here's the calendar. I know it's kind of far away, but here in September, here are all of the events we have happening next week. Glass Animals, Art Glass, Glowy Glass, MCM. Why is that clicked? Oh, there it goes. And then we have 4th Friday Handmade. I don't know if we're going to do Fast Friday Freight. We usually don't do that on 4th Friday. But then we have, obviously, on the weekend, we're going to have the Glass Train. All right. Oh, yeah, I have to go. I'm actually getting my nails done tonight. I'm so ready. All right. So then we have our Weirdos event happening October 3rd and 4th. Weirdos. It's sneaking up on you guys. This is the Weirdos. No? Is this not Weirdos? Oh, look up. Okay. So Weirdos are going to be the 3rd and the 4th. And then paperweights are on the calendar for 26th, 27th, and 28th. So that's going to be paperweights. All right. And then on the 31st, we're going to have a Halloween party. That's on the calendar. And then November 7th and 8th, I hit on this a little bit last night on my YouTube. I gave my YouTube subscribers who watch my videos a little spoiler on this. I think this is the event. I know we got paperweights coming up, but this is the event I'm looking most forward to. Which is so crazy, but I am looking so forward to this event, and I'm going to tell you guys why. So it is November 7th and 8th. I talked a little bit about it last night on YouTube, and basically what we're going to do, you guys may have seen us, Christina ask in the chat about if we had any, former bartenders or, drink connoisseurs. And the reason for that is we came up with this idea for a train we're coming into the holidays. A lot of people are entertaining. And so we're thinking of doing like a train geared towards entertaining, possibly, barware, serving pieces, that sort of thing. But one thing we wanted to do to kind of put a twist on it is to also have our sellers maybe feature their favorite holiday drink. So that doesn't necessarily mean alcohol, but I think it's important to remind everybody that our guideline is no excessive drinking. But it doesn't necessarily mean alcohol. I've talked a little bit about how, when I was a kid, my mom used to make that punch with the ginger ale and the sherbet and the punch. And, it was, so there, you could do mocktails, you could do cocktails. But I think it would be lots of fun to kind of show people like, okay, this is my favorite drink to make during the holidays. My mom would also make like, mulled cider on the stove, and the house would just smell like cider. Like, there's so much fun stuff that you can do with this sale, and I'm so excited for it. And also be selling vintage barware. One of my favorite sets of barware is my poison glasses that I got out of the hoarder house. So I've got my poison glasses. I'm not selling those. Those are my favorite glasses. And I personally am a hoarder of nice vintage barware. So, and really all I drink is beer and wine. So, you know, there's that to consider. So I think that's going to be an amazing event. I'm so excited for it. I think leading up to that event, I would love to have reels going out of, you know, making drinks, showing drinks being served in barware, vintage barware, that sort of thing. So I'd love to maybe recruit some of our sellers to help us create some of that content to put out. And also at the same time, you know, promote you guys and some of what you're doing and selling here on Niknax. So I think that's going to be an amazing event. Obviously, it's not till November, but, you know, keep it in mind, be thinking about it. And then 23rd and 24th is going to be our tour of Italy, which is going to be our big November event. So for that event, we've had this as a weekly feature before. We kind of did a little bit of it when we did our Where in the World train, but but what we're going to do for that is all things Italian pottery, Italian glass, all things made in Italy. I mean, when we did our Where in the World, I feel like there were a few regions that were very successful in that sale, Latin America, and also Italy. So we really wanted to do a train that was specific to Italy. And I think we're going to do that on the 23rd and the 24th of November. So right before Thanksgiving. So real quick, I've got this post that's staring me in the face. We are coming up on our 1-year anniversary, and we are going to do something to celebrate that. But the reason I wrote this down is because one thing that was asked to me, we were like 2 or 3 months into Niknax, is if I wanted to start removing sellers who were not active on Niknax. And I was like, well, we're only like 2-3 months into it. I feel like we should wait. So now we're a year into this, and I feel like it's something we have to think about. Not necessarily, remove sellers. Remove sellers, but they would stay members. So basically, it would just be a matter of reapplying to become a seller. Basically, because we have a lot of people who, you know, applied early on and never really did anything with it. And we're a year into it. So as we come up on our 1-year anniversary, I'm going to be going through our sellers and just removing sellers who I'm not taking. I mean, that sounds so bad, but it's not supposed to sound bad. No, it's not if your stuff hasn't been selling. No, it's just if like that person like maybe joined and then never did anything else with it. It has nothing. Yeah. It's not if your stuff, you know, it's not if your stuff isn't selling. It's not if like, which if your stuff is not selling, that kind of makes me sad. But it's like you've been here a year and you're not active. So basically it would just be like, I played early on and could never get back on. Well, then you can apply again. Yeah, so they have no listings, they have no lives, they have not been active, like they're not even here. So it would just like so if they were ever to come back, they just have to reapply. That's all. Yeah, that's all. So it's not like a you're gone forever. It's not like I'm banning them. It's just like well, let's try this again when you come back. Yes, you get an email. Sometimes it goes into your spam box though. What's the dates for the paperweight train? Paperweight train dates are 26th, 27th, and 28th of October. 26th, 27th, 28th of October. And then, oops, I just deleted October. Crap, I hit a button. Oh, there it goes. And then we're having a Halloween party on the 31st, What does that mean? I don't know. It was just an idea and it seemed like a good one. And so on the 31st, I think we're going to have a Halloween party. Let's do it. Let's dress up. Sarah's like, let's dress up. I knew you'd be up for that. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna dress up. I think so. For sure. I know it's 11:35. It's time for us to raid. So thank you everyone for hanging out with me today. I hope that you got something out of today's coffee chat. I felt like today was a very productive coffee chat. We went through a lot of stuff. If you have any more questions, please remember that we do have our chat channels here on Niknax. We have FAQ. You can stick your questions over there. We also have specific chats to live sellers, seller chat, all of those things. So you can definitely post questions over there. But we are going to do a raid. We're supposed to raid over at 11:30. So when we raid, please remember to show some encouragement, give some words of support, and and I am having a sale later on this evening. Not even this evening, 2:30. I'm going to have a sale. I'm going to do a sale today, just because I need to keep these girls busy when I leave for Ohio. So I'll see you guys later today. All right, we are heading over to Fabric and Treasures Julie. All right, so everybody show her some love.